Welcome, everybody. And it is time for the race that many of us have all been waiting for since the beginning of this season. My name is Eli Singh, and I'm so excited to be with you guys here for tonight's Chicago Street Race presented by the Merch Booth podcast here for Wednesday Night Dash. Oh my Lanta. I cannot explain how excited I am about this race. We're looking at an iconic Chicago skyline behind our beautiful race graphic. Those of you guys that do not know about this track, I've got a little bit of trivia that I want to tell you guys about because I am so excited about everything that this track means for the world of racing. And I do want to say thank you so much again to our sponsor, the Merch Booth, tonight, who I'll be talking about in a minute. Our track tonight is the Chicago Street Circuit, and this is such a unique track for many, many reasons. A, within the league, we are a next-gen NASCAR league. We're putting these next-gens on a street circuit for this race, and that's going to be a whole lot of fun. But also, in real life, the Real NASCAR Series will be doing the same thing this year for the first time ever in Chicago. Now, this Chicago Street Circuit was originally designed by iRacing to be added into the NASCAR Series in 2020. So this makes this track officially the very first track designed on a video game that has become real life. And that is absolutely incredible for not only the fact that it's happened in the first place, but that it's happened at iRacing, and then beyond that, it's happened in the beautiful, beautiful town of Chicago, Illinois. This is going to be the first year this is ever raced on this year. There's 0-degree banking here. So the NASCARs that are usually, pitched a little bit to the left, they're going to have no advantage on that. 2.1 miles around 12 different corners. We do have a 15-minute open qualifier today, which they've got about 5 minutes left to go. And we have a 25-lap race with a competition caution, I believe. If I recall correctly, there actually might not even be a competition caution this weekend. I can't remember 100%. But this is going to be a wild race for sure. Now, I do want to take a look at those standings. Eric Richardson sitting at the top, but that gap is closing up by Colton Gardner. I do want to mention that last place finish for Eric Richardson at Pocono last week brought Colton Gardner now within 12 points of first place. And if you look at that championship standings, 30 points separate first from sixth. It is very, very close. On top of that, we do have Tyler Vickery sitting in fifth. I really expect to see him to do well today. I just got a good feeling. I think this is going to be a track that really favors him. And I do truly expect to see some pretty hot racing from all of these drivers tonight. I do want to take a look at our calendar as well so you guys can get a refresher. We're at Chicago Street Circuit. We're a little bit farther than halfway through the season so far, with Atlanta, Kansas, and Phoenix to come next on the 1st, the 8th, and the 15th of March. This is our last race here in February. I do again want to thank our sponsor so much, the Merch Booth.
Say, well, gentlemen, who?
We've got somebody talking in the background. I think that might be DJ. The Merch Booth. I do want to tell them so much. Thank you so much. They're a podcast about music, adventure, and friendship. Ryan and Thomas, the two co-hosts, have known each other for over 15 years, and they just recently decided to start going to concerts together and making that a regular occurrence. At each concert, they make an effort to try new things, go to bands they can share with each other, and record a show that talks through the fun, the music, and all the tall people who just shouldn't stand up in the front of a concert. On top of that, they both love racing. Ryan's been a Lewis Hamilton fan since his rookie year, and Thomas grew up watching Ernie Irvan week in and week out, so safe to say he loves the NASCAR world. They hope that this Chicago race is as insane and fun as many of the punk shows that they've been to. And again, thank you so much to Stadium Scene TV this week on House of Hockey, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. Breezy and Ray discussed the successful moments of the NHL Stadium Series games as the Carolina Hurricanes hosted and beat the Washington Capitals. They talk about the surprise sneak attack trade of Ryan O'Reilly to the Toronto Maple Leafs, what that means for the Leafs, and why the St. Louis Blues are selling off players. Ray shares her experience in Smashville as she attends her first game at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville to watch the Predators play the Coyotes. Breezy had a bad day and an almost goalie fight between the LA Kings and Anaheim Ducks didn't help. Plus, they reveal their hockey hunks of the week and start a new segment. What's the secret word of the episode?
Have a Green Bay Packers car steps outside of Soldier Field.
We can hear DJ talking in the background, talking about the Green Bay Packers car that is being featured. We do have a sweet Green Bay Packers car.
Heat on them.
Don't think they're out on track right now.
Ouch.
But take a look at this beautiful, beautiful street circuit. We have the Milwaukee car of Miss Brian McKinney flying through. Looks like he is right around turn 4. So if those of you guys that know the Chicago skyline, I'm curious to see if you can figure out which road is which while they're driving here. This whole street circuit is designed around the outskirts of Grant Park, effectively, which many of you guys will know for its incredibly iconic fountain that you can see at the very center of Grant Park. Lots of parks around this area in general. Right here, you'll actually see the sculptures to the entrance of Grant Park. You can see the light posts, and you just barely can't see the sculptures because of the camera. But the camera is basically sitting in between the sculptures. Just the way that they designed this track, in my opinion, was so exceptionally smart and gorgeous. Those sculptures, if you guys do know, it goes down Michigan Avenue. Michigan Avenue, otherwise known as the Miracle Mile, once you get towards the shops. And fun fact, the very first time I ever went to Chicago, I stayed on Michigan Avenue. And I actually go to Chicago once every few months because it is the place that I have to fly into to go visit. Ooh, a little spinny right there. To go visit my girlfriend, who lives in the middle of nowhere in Michigan. So a little fun fact, I have a bit of an emotional attachment to Chicago because it's been the host of some of my best memories traveling. I absolutely love this place. I adore it so much. Right here, we've got Brian McKinney blasting down Lakeshore Drive, finishing up his qualifying as he's got 18 seconds left of qualifying, just putting in a nice little lap. Now, one thing I do want to mention, Chicago, them hosting this race is so iconic. I know, obviously, we mentioned it a little bit. But it's just crazy that this is a track that's gone from, you know, a pandemic brainchild, effectively, you know, just an idea in the middle of the pandemic, to now being like a real racetrack that these exact cars that we're going to see tonight flying down these streets are going to be on later this year in July. And it's really, really, really cool. We're just going to see both an Xfinity and a Cup Series race. So it's going to be a sweet year for Chicago racing for sure. Now, as you guys can probably imagine, this track is very, very bumpy. And there are multiple points of the track where you can run out of space very, very quick. We'll see drivers here once they start, you know, getting underway. They're going to have to be especially careful in turns 1 and 6. Turns 1, obviously coming off the straight, the start-finish line, it's a hard left-hand 90-degree turn after a decent-sized straight. And then turn 6 as well, which is another hard left-hand turn, which we'll see, actually, if he does decide to finish right here. He just went through turn 2 right there. I think he may actually be done with it. He's calling it quitsy. So when we go through the corners, I'll give you guys kind of the readout of them. Oh, my track map is a little bit messed up. There it is. So the track map, for those of you guys that want to see it a little bit bigger, that'll look much, much, much better for this very interesting looking track. A whole lot of right angles on this track. You'll notice turn 12 was a little bit looser. Turn 11, or 7, 11, and 12 are a little bit looser of 90 degrees corners. 5 and 2 are also a relatively loose, but turn 1 and turn 6, like I mentioned, those two corners that are, you know, juxtaposed right next to each other are actually perpendicular to each other. They are the tightest corners on the track, and you're going to require some serious caution, especially on cold tires. It'll be very interesting to see if people end up having to use the access road behind turn 4. Which would, you know, that's definitely not on purpose, but it does happen every once in a while. Because coming around turn 4, you can take it very fast. So we'll see if they end up actually doing that. Our pole position sitter here today was Tyler Vickery. Like I mentioned, I had a feeling he was going to be really, really strong here. Look at that, 131.194. You guys can't see the times, but he had an absolute heater of a lap. Colton Gardner came home in second. Eric Richardson in third, 3 seconds off the pace of Tyler Vickery, may I also add. Mark Vickers in fourth, just 0.06 of a second behind Eric Richardson. Brian McKinney in fifth, 0.8 out. Vickers, Caden McAravey, pretty far out, and DJ is 9 seconds away from the pace, sitting in a 1 minute and 40 second.
Can I cry now or later?
They're asking the very important questions of when they can cry. They're expecting this to be a tough race, and I honestly think it's going to be
this course anyway.
It's gonna be tough, but I don't think it's gonna be that bad. I don't know. I get a good
I
feeling
blame
about
Jepson
tonight.
Award. I think they picked it.
Got a good feeling about tonight. We've got the Porsche pace car.
Oh yeah, I don't remember that night.
As it is a road course, so we get Porsches out there, not Mustangs like we're used to seeing for many of our oval races. Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh boy! I'm just so excited for tonight. This race is it's just gonna be amazingly fun. I have a feeling that these drivers are going to be going absolutely ham from start to finish, and yeah, I just can't wait to see what they can produce. I see some good racing coming out of these 7 drivers, I'm sure. Now, also, I do want to mention, because of the qualifying gaps, I think that there may be just a few packs. I think that Colton Gardner and Tyler Vickery are pretty likely to be battling it through a majority of this race, because there's going to be a lot of mistakes. If I'm being honest with you guys, I really expect there to be quite a few mistakes and just, losses of grip and just overall kind of sketchiness of driving, because these cars are relatively sketchy in the first place and the track just makes them sketchier. So I do expect there to be, some light sketchiness. The volume down a little bit for you guys. That was a little bit too loud. Yeah, I honestly do expect there to be a little bit of craziness. I hope, maybe. Maybe it's just me and my wishful thinking, right? But on top of that, remember in the standings, Tyler Vickery is pretty far away from it, but Eric Richardson and Colton Gardner are basically neck and neck. Let's go ahead and take a look at those standings right now as they're coming on turn 7. Eric Richardson sitting at 74 points, Colton Gardner at 62. Tyler Vickery, if he gets a good result here today, and Eric and Colton both don't necessarily do the best, this could really help his chances coming back in this championship. I really think his hunt for a championship is still alive. I really think it is. So this will be the moment of truth for him. If it does stay alive after today or not, I think they come around the penultimate corner. They're getting ready to go racing here tonight. Oh my Lanta. Everybody get on your feet and get excited.
First lap's gonna go.
We've got a green flag coming out in just a few seconds. The Porsche rounds its final corner. They get themselves onto the main street. Porsche's in. And the green flag is out. We are racing. Tyler Vickery with a great start, but it looks like the Milwaukee Tools car, the number 8 of Mr. Brian McKinney, got a little bit caught up behind the 13. Just behind, and Tyler Vickery immediately flying away from the pack. Look at how good of a getaway that was. Let's take a look at this from Brian McKinney's point of view. Like I said, the Milwaukee car, there he goes for a dive. I knew it was coming up pretty soon. He looked like he was aggressively looking for something. And there he is. He makes an attempt at a move, but it just does not stick. These cars very, very, very heavy. Hard to get around these corners as quick as you might want to. Back in the leader. See, he comes around turn 4 right here. Flies through it. Does not hit that access road. Gets a little bit squirrely. Like I said, we're going to see some of that. Cold tires right now. All these drivers have to go relatively easy on it and not just overdo it. If you overdo it right now on your lap 1, that's just a huge mistake, because we've got 25 laps of racing to get through, and it's just not worth it to go too ham right now. A little bit farther back, we can look at Brian McKinney's point of view again. I think he's got a really good point of view to look at the rest of the race. Coming over the bridge. He might be glitching out just a little bit. Look at how slow they have to go through turn 7. From Mark Vickers right here. He's sitting in 3rd place right now. Wow. Just behind Colton Gardner. He qualified in 4th. So absolutely incredible start for him. 84. Far away from the number 1 car, though. Look at Tyler Vickery. Oh my Lanta. That's already a 1.2 second lead. Or, sorry, 1.8 second lead. Almost now 2 second lead on second place of Colton Gardner as he flies to the start-finish line and completes lap 1 here around Chicago. And DJ Fluke is pretty far out of touch right now. The gaps go like this. 2 seconds to Colton. 3 seconds to Mark. 5 seconds to Eric Richardson. 7 seconds now to Brian McKinney. 7.5 to 8 seconds to Caden McRavy. And 17 seconds to DJ. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at Mr. Caden McRavy. He's right up in the back of it. He's climbing through turn. He's flying through turn 3. Has to brake a little bit early for turn 4. Does not hit the runoff. I think he probably had a little bit more pace to show there. I think he probably could have committed a little bit harder. But you notice how they're not really using a whole lot of that exit line. And I'm curious as to figure out why. From an overhead point of view, you can see that the Green Bay car is pretty far away from the Milwaukee. Comes around turn 6. That very tight corner, like I said, was going to cause some people some trouble. So far, no one's really gotten caught up too much. It's not been too bad so far. Everyone's been pretty relaxed. Colton Gardner up at the front, like I said. He's still holding down a relatively respectable gap, but it's about 2 seconds between him and Tyler. And then a second between him and Mark Vickers behind, so Mark Vickers having a better chance at overtaking Colton right now than Colton has at overtaking Tyler. On to lap 3 we are now. Right now, Tyler Vickery holding the fastest lap of the race at a 1:32.276. Colton Gardner at 1:32.670, the next quickest on the board today. And it's looking like DJ is pretty far out of touch. Oh! DJ spun. Coming around turn 12. Oh, no. I saw he was going a little slow. I wonder exactly what happened. Oh, that's tough. You hate to see that. We get back on McRavy and McKinney as they're fighting a little bit. They're pretty close to each other. A little less than half a second away. I expect to see a pass attempt from the Green Bay coming up pretty soon. I think he's going to start looking for moves. I can see it coming. And when he does see that move come up, I'm sure he's not going to be too patient. He's just going to want to take it as quick as he possibly can. Going over the bridge into turn 7. 3 car, the Green Bay still has to stay behind. No opportunities yet presenting. They're going through the carousel. You can see those beautiful sculptures on the right side as the entrance to Grant Park. It's over the Ida Wells Bridge is what they are going over. That whole area of Chicago where this street circuit is going to take place is very popular usually. I mean, look at how wide these streets are, right? They're on Columbus right now. And they're using actually the left lane, if you think about it. They're using the oncoming traffic lane to make the track as interesting as possible. I think that's one of the really cool parts about this track is that they were very, very handy about using both the oncoming and proper flow of traffic lanes to make the track flow better. In certain moments, it makes sense to make the track a little bit wider and use maybe the oncoming traffic. In certain parts of the track, it makes more sense to use just the regular road. Little random fun fact for you on that one. Go ahead and check out what Mark Vickers has got right here. He's holding down second place over Colton Gardner. Hold on a second. When did he pass Colton Gardner? Oh my gosh, Colton sitting behind. I wonder exactly what happened. Let's go ahead and take a look. See if we can find it. Right here. Let's check out this beautiful move right here from Mark Vickers. They're coming around to turn 4. For that right here. And a deep dive from Vickers. Wow, he absolutely sent that one. That was sweet. Oh my gosh. That was a gorgeous move from Vickers. And now Colton Gardner is sitting behind. Now that Mark Vickers has been unleashed. Hold on a second. Do we see a dark horse coming out of Mark Vickers? He seems to be pretty quick here. He's already gapped almost 2 seconds on Colton Gardner. So we might see a bit of a comeback drive right here from Mark Vickers, at least an attempt at one for sure. He is using all the track. You can see he goes a little bit wider on exit. Still not quite as wide as I think he could have right there. Had a little bit more track to use, but decided not to. Flies through turn 3. A flat out full commitment corner. You can see how much quicker he is to that corner than his counterpart, Colton Gardner, right behind him. It's a pretty big difference between the two of them. Pretty big. Let's give some love to Tyler Vickery, who is absolutely dominating right now. I mean, look at how fast he is. He has a 6-second gap between him and Mark Vickers. Absolutely flying around the street circuit. Using every inch of the track that he can. I know he's just very good on road courses in general. So I was expecting to have I was expecting to see a good result from him tonight. I think this is a pretty good, amalgamation of all of his skills. And obviously it's proven to be as such. He comes around turn 11 looking very clean and watches line here through turn 12. Let's go ahead and go on board with Tyler Vickery for a lap here around the Chicago street circuit. Shifts into fourth right here. He's absolutely flying, prepping for that tie left-hander here, turn 1. Using every bit of road on the exit, too, that he can. So it gets far over to the left. Break into turn 2. Tight on the apex. This is where the track gets a little bit tighter right here. Going down Lakeshore Drive. He does get a little bit tighter. Okay, braking right around in the middle of that bad dark blue sign you saw on the left side. Wide exit there. Tight underneath the street lights. He's back on the throttle. Look at how much of the track he's using compared to everybody else. In my opinion, it's no surprise that he is this far ahead of everybody else, because he's really just using the track to its fullest extent. Now, for anybody here that does live anywhere near Chicago, please do not go and try to do this street circuit in real life, obviously. But I can also ask you guys, how much fun would this be to see these, to go drive this track? Oh my Lanta. Just watching how tight and turbulent the track is. Oh, you can really commit to that corner. He really did commit to that corner too. There he goes. Coming around the penultimate corner right, or the final corner right here. Turn 12. Hard on the throttle for the start finish straight. Looking absolutely clean as he crosses the start finish line. And he now has a 13-second lead on the next guys behind. Hayden McRavey, though, do want to point out, still right up in the back of Brian McKinney. It's been a nice little tight group between these two from the start of this race. Gaps haven't really widened all too much between these two, hardly at all. It's basically about the same. I can see the Green Bay card looking to find a way through past the Milwaukee, but it just doesn't seem to exist quite yet. 7 laps in right here. Basically about a third of the way through. Just under a third of the way through. We've still got a whole lot that can happen in this race. You never know when someone could make a big mistake and end up losing the car and getting people collected, because this is a street circuit, and if they end up losing the car in just the wrong spot, it could happen to be a very tight section of track, which would mean that basically everybody would get collected. Earlier today, I was doing some laps myself on the Detroit circuit, and it's a very similar situation where if you happen to go around a very tight corner and there's just a spun out car in front of you, there's nothing you can do about it. You just become a passenger to that collision. And obviously we're not hoping that that can happen, but we do recognize that that is a real possibility here at a street circuit, especially one as tight as Chicago. Now, it seems to be well made to the point that they made it about as wide as they possibly could. That's good that they did that. It's still pretty tight, you know? Another fun fact, this park right here, Grant Park, is also home to music festivals throughout the year and other big festivals and events throughout the year. So this area is often used actually as a just a recreational area for the city of Chicago. So I'm sure they have the infrastructure ready to go for an event like this. But I am still excited to see how they pull it off. And when I'm talking about how they pull it off, I mean like the real life, version. I'm excited to see exactly what kind of infrastructure they're going to put up for this. I think it's going to be an absolutely incredible event when they do put this on in real life. But speaking of what we've got as an incredible event, this Caden McRavy, Brian McKinney battle, they're still fighting. And so far, McRavy has not been able to get near enough to McKinney to make much of a difference. Give some love to Tyler Vickery, who's still leading up front now by 14 seconds over Mark Vickers. It is just a thrashing that he's putting on here today in Wednesday Night Dash. He was prepared for this race from day one, I'm sure. I bet you when he saw this race in the calendar, he got very excited. I know I definitely did. But he gets to drive it. I just get to watch it, so he gets to have a lot more excitement. But I'm still really excited for it because I was thoroughly expecting the racing here to be pretty good. So far, these drivers have been surprisingly clean. You know, they've kept it out of the wall pretty much entirely, which is pretty impressive and pretty hard to do. You know, I gotta give them some props. Go back to Brian McKinney, still holding off the Green Bay. Look at the number 3 car. He's lurking behind, looking for his way through. Right now, the gap between them about 0.6. Very, very, very tight. Maybe closer to a second. Still very tight. This race is anything but decided between these two. And like I said, I cannot fully remember if we have a competition caution. If we do, it should be on lap 12. And that would bunch up the field like crazy. And on a restart, who knows what could happen, right? But it's a very different style of racing than we're used to seeing here on Wednesday Night Dash. Usually Wednesday Night Dashes, we're used to seeing, you know, just absolute flat-out style driving around the ovals. But here, you have to keep it relatively calm, cool, and collected for these laps and make sure they're not making big mistakes, because it's much easier to spin out on a street circuit than it is on an oval. Now, don't get me wrong, ovals are pretty challenging to drive, but a street circuit is a whole nother beast, and these drivers are trying to conquer a very, very, very difficult beast. They're coming around the carousel at that sweeping left-hander, turn 9. Still, Brian McKinney able to hold off Caden McRavy. And by a decent margin, too, I would say. Up at the front, Mark Vickers holding a really solid lead over Colton Gardner. After Colton Gardner made that mistake, and Mark Vickers, you know, snuck his way through, Mark has been absolutely dominating. I mean, he's got almost an 8-second gap. Actually, more than an 8-second gap now on Colton Gardner. It's big. So, like, you can't even see Colton Gardner coming around the corners behind him because he's so far away. And there's Colton Gardner right now finally coming around a corner. You know, that Mark Vickers was just coming around. So, it's a big gap between these two. Very, very, very big. And then farther back, it looks like Caden McRavy's actually lost touch. By a pretty decent margin to Brian McKinney now. Almost 2 seconds away. I wonder what happened. May have been a bit of a mistake. Or just some really good laps from the Milwaukee car of Mr. Brian McKinney. That is definitely possible. We're 10 laps in here, 15 to go. A whole lot can happen. A whole lot can happen. All the drivers here on basically the first half of the track, that whole right, you know, box of the track almost. It's funny when you look at the track map, it almost looks like 2 boxes that were just combined together and then slightly smushed in different ways. It's kind of how they made the track look like. It's a very interesting, almost like a figure 8, but not, because there's no crossover and the little smushes. Still watch Mr. Caden McRavy. See if he can find his way to get some pace back, but it looks like it's all but disappeared. And now let's go ahead and get back on the camera of our race leader, Mr. Tyler Vickery, who's absolutely thrashing. He's already lapped DJ Fluke. And right now, Mark Vickers is looking to do the same thing. Mark, you can see him from his cockpit camera. He'll be able to see.
Hey Mark, I'll let you by when you get up here.
Right there. DJ just kind of said, hey, I'll let you through. You can see DJ right here going in to turn 7. Look at how slow they have to go to get through turn 7. They really have to just hitch that thing into these corners. Such heavy cars to get through such tight areas. They find a way. Oh, what a commitment move from there
to be one of the tightest spots in the
to just get past. And, oh, barely dodges the wall right there, Mark Vickers. Finds a way to stay out of the wall and still on the racetrack. That was a little bit close for comfort, if you ask me. A little bit too close. Scaring me just a little bit. Mark Vickers now having lapped DJ Fluck. Third place of Colton Gardner looking to lap DJ relatively soonish in the next couple laps or so, probably. Still far enough away to the point that it's not quite within striking distance. And every other driver now having spread out pretty considerably. The race is starting to really kind of calm down, and everyone's just driving their laps. Everybody has their own pretty unique pace. There's nobody that's really super close with each other, it seems like, on this track. And I think that's why we have such big gaps, is because basically everybody that's driving tonight is kind of in a league of their own. In their own certain way on this track is what it's looked like. And so the gaps seem to be a little bit bigger than usual, I would say. Usually, you know, in the oval races, we'll see little packs of 3 or 4 that are pretty darn close to each other for basically the entire race. But here, you know, everyone's pace is so different. We're not quite seeing that. Now we're almost about halfway through. Tyler Vickery is about to cross the line. He does put us through that halfway point, so now we're on lap 13. This is the halfway lap. And it's been an absolute domination from this guy, Tyler Vickery. Now, when he's going to pit, I wonder how much of a difference that's going to make, if any at all. I don't know if it's going to make much of a difference, if I'm being honest with you. I think that Tyler's just got the pace to hold this down no matter what thrown at him. DJ's now been passed up by Colton as well. I just noticed that on the standings. The 4th place driver, Mr. Eric Richardson, will be coming up relatively soon, taking his spot. Speaking of which, I do want to give some love to Eric Richardson. We haven't gotten on his camera very much today at all. Driving the number 13 Camaro. Looking beautiful as always. I really do love his car design. See, I've always thought it's very clean. Oh, look at that thing. Just absolutely fly down through turn 4. Again, the amount of commitment that these drivers have to get through turn 4 so fast is amazing to me. DJ's going to let him through as well.
There comes the end of the left.
Through. Number 5th car of Brian McKinney's far enough back to the point that DJ won't let him through quite yet. But probably in the next couple laps. Look at that gap now between Mark Vickers and Colton Gardner. Let's go ahead and take out Mark Vickers' camera right here, the number 84 car. He is 10 seconds ahead of Colton Gardner now. Oh my gosh. What was once a very tight tussle between the two of them, the moment that Mark gets through, he just flies away. So it was definitely him being held up a little bit. His pace was not being allowed to blossom. We are definitely at that halfway point. 12 laps to go now. We will see who's going to shake out as the winner. As of right now, it's looking like, ooh, a bit of a mistake, actually, for Mark Vickers right there. Tap the wall. Right now, it's looking like Tyler Vickery is going to win this thing by a pretty decent margin. As of right now, he's got a 25-second lead. That's incredible. Absolutely incredible. Oh, looks like DJ has gone to the pits early. Wonder exactly why he's gone to the pits so early. I couldn't tell you what DJ's thinking. Maybe he's having to do some repairs or something like that. Who knows? But Tyler Vickery will fly right by him down that start-finish straight. Again, when I first met Tyler, I remember he was talking to me a ton about how he felt that the championship was already over. He was a race down because he missed the first race and there was no way he could recover. Then you look at his pace on a track like Chicago, and you think to yourself, was there really ever a doubt in his mind that he could recover, or was he just kind of saying that just to maybe make people think like, oh, maybe he's washed for this season, because he did destroy last season. If that was his goal to kind of trick people, it's definitely worked, because look at how well he's done today. 15 laps in, and he's got a 25-second lead over second place Mark Vickers. That's incredible. And he is 33 seconds away from lapping Caden McAravey. Unreal. Absolutely unreal pace. Now, speaking of McAravey. Oops, wrong one. There we go. McAravey. He is a little far away, out of touch from Brian McKinney and Eric Richardson, who, by the way, are starting to get a little bit close to each other. I can see Mr. Brian McKinney potentially making a dive on Eric Richardson coming soon. I think he's looking for his opportunity here to get through. Oh, bit of a lockup right there from looks like Eric Richardson. Just gonna let McKinney get even closer. Now McKinney within a second. McKinney, by the way, the Milwaukee Tools car. You're probably seeing the red car that's right behind number 8. And Eric Richardson, the number 13, holding it down plenty fine in front. This is gonna get tight, I'm sure. Now down to a half a second. Brian McKinney and Eric Richardson. Brian McKinney looking to be faster, and Eric Richardson dives in the pits. Says, I need to get some more fuel and tires. Take a look at exactly what he's doing right here. A quick chase cam. Let's see what Eric Richardson's taking in the pits. Pulls up in his box, pull the car lift. Looks like no. Oh, he overdid it. Oh. So unfortunate for Eric Richardson. He overdid it. Oh, no. He can't find his pit box. What is going on with Eric Richardson? There it is. Now he's getting repaired and tired up. Oh, my gosh. Eric Richardson, who was holding it down so well, has had an absolute disaster of a pit stop. There was something about he just couldn't find his pit box, and what should have been a quick little, touch up in the pits ended up being an absolute endeavor for the number 13 car, and his race has gone down the toilet with that terrible pit stop. Oh my Lanta. And Brian McKinney, who was fighting him, is now sitting pretty in fourth place. Look at how that's worked out for him. He flies by the scene of the crime, where Eric Richardson had his howler of a pit stop. I don't know exactly what happened there. If I'm being honest with you, I really don't know. Very, very odd. Very strange. Most certainly. Quite strange. Eric Richardson, though, with that tough pit stop, is now sitting in 6th place after once holding down 4th. Loses 2 positions basically out of a pit stop. And I don't think he's going to be getting those back, even if his strategy was right, because that pit stop was just everything that you would want to never happen to you. That was just really hard. So I think Eric Richardson now really has his back up against the wall for the next, math's hard, 8 laps. I'll say. Give or take, 8, 9 laps. 8 laps, yes. Math is hard, but it's not that hard. You can do it. Lap 18 right now of 25. About 11 minutes left of time to go. The fastest lap so far has been to Mr. Mark Vickers. Or sorry, not Mark Vickers. Tyler Vickery, of course. Absolutely just dominating today. Pop it over on him as he goes over the bridge. That bridge right there. Do you guys know what the name of that bridge is? For those of you guys that are not familiar with Chicago streets, that is the Balbo Bridge. B-A-L-B-O. The Balbo Bridge. Balbo Bridge, however you want to call it. Another thing that's pretty nearby here. If you were to just keep driving down the road that has that little carousel in it, keep on going down, we get to some of the most iconic buildings in the world. Miracle Mile. Fun fact, there's actually a very unique spot to watch this race. And it's going to be at the museum campus, which would be on the far left side of the track, around that turn 4 and 5 area. There's a very beautiful museum out there. I believe it's the Museum of... it's one of the... I think it's like a science museum, if I recall correctly. It's just me kind of testing my own Chicago geography. If I'm incorrect, please correct me at the end. Of course. From what I remember, that's exactly what that museum is out there around the turn 4 area. Enough about geography, more about racing. Tyler Vickery still destroying. He's trying to lap everybody he can. And he's chasing down the 5th place car of Caden McAravey. Lap after lap. Now, will he actually catch up to 5th place? I don't know. Not with a mistake like that. Oh, no. Tyler Vickery overdoing it a little bit. Let's see exactly what happened right there from Tyler Vickery. It looks like he just was a little bit late on the brakes. Just overcommitted into the corner. Yeah. Take a look at this from his cockpit camera. You can see how he turns in. You can see he's careening right into it. Oh, just a little bit late on the brakes. Left noses it right into it. But his car alignment seems to be fine. So he doesn't seem too fazed by it. I'm sure his car's fine. And no more crashes since then, so looks good. Turns left into turn 1. He looks fine. Good to go. It'll buff out. 'Tis but a scratch. He's got nothing really to worry about. Brian McKinney right here, holding down his own. Kind of in the middle of nowhere. He's in a bit of no man's land right now. Not a whole lot going on for him. Colton Gardner also in a bit of no man's land, coming through the carousel. A roundabout, whatever you'd like to call it. I don't know if it actually has a name for it yet. I'm sure it will have a name for it if this race goes well and people end up loving it. Lots of runoff design in this track. Mostly because street circuits need to have those runoff areas where you can just totally miss a corner and go into some extra space to brake. Because if you miss a corner on a street circuit and you hit the wall, that is a hard wall to hit. You do not want to do that. And I think I know the safety board of all these races is always thinking about that and trying to make it as safe as possible for you to make mistakes. So you'll notice on the outside of many of these corners, there's lots of runoff. That is exactly why. Colt Garner trying his very best to add some pace and get closer up to Mark Vickers, but it's just to no avail. We're now down to 5 laps left as Mr. Tyler Vickery crosses the line long ago, maybe just a few seconds ago. I got the 5 laps left call. We're in the business end of the race right here, ladies and gentlemen. And on the business end is when sends come out. Now, I would say watch out for people to get sendy right around now, but I don't really see anybody with much of an opportunity to get too sendy, so I don't know. We're going to be seeing that quite yet. It looks like Eric Richardson's in the pits. Now, what he's in the pits for, I'm not sure. He's been in the pits for a while. Hold on a second. Oh! Eric Richardson having a little bit of a crash. Let's take a look at exactly what happened here from a chase camera point of view. Comes around turn 4. Or turn 3, excuse me. Harden the brakes into turn 4. Does not use all the exit area. Locked to the inside, noses it, and that's it. Oh, that's tough. The merch booth car is out. You can, if we want to take a little bit of a dissection right here, because we got a little bit of time. Right here, you can see he's got tons of room to the far left side to use, but he's staying well away from the wall. And I think that's the biggest problem right here, because then when he makes the turn in, he turned in a little bit late, as you can see. Right there. A little bit late. There's about a whole car width between him and the corner apex, and it just careens him into the wall on the left side. And he put himself into the wall, and he's out. I think he may be coming out of the pits right about now, though. Yep, looks like he is. So let's see how he can finish this race. Now, right now, actually, Eric Richardson behind DJ Fluke, who was sitting in last place. Now. Oh, I think DJ may have just added 2 more laps because the race time was incorrect. If that's the case, we have 6 laps left to go. I just saw the lap counter just change out of nowhere. I swear it said 20 or 21. Oh, it's because he's not on the lead lap. That's why. Tyler Vickery is on the lead lap on lap 22. Makes more sense now. My graphic confused me. Tyler Vickery dominating right now. Here to catch this 6th place car of DJ Fluke once again. Wants to get in front of him. Can he do it? Take a look at his point of view. Coming around the corner that he messed up on earlier. Looks fine this time through. Tight. Good turn 11.
Staying to the left.
DJ lets him through. Now Tyler Vickery is lapped again on DJ. DJ now 3 laps down. Eric Richardson catching up to DJ. I think Eric Richardson might be able to best DJ in the next few laps before the checkered flag does come about. But Eric Richardson needs to put the pedal to the metal and get in front of DJ as quick as he can. They're very good friends, Eric and DJ. Oh, but in racing there are no friends, and Eric Richardson makes another big mistake and careens himself into the wall once again. Now, this is exactly the kind of race that Tyler needed. Tyler's going to be so excited because remember, look at the standings here, everybody. If we take a look, we've got Eric Richardson sitting in the 1st place position, and Colton Gardner in 2nd, Scott McCarris in 3rd, Hunter Hughes in 4th, and then Tyler Vickery. Hunter, not here. Scott, not here. Colton Gardner sitting in 3rd, and Eric Richardson sitting in last place right now. This is a dream come true for Tyler Vickery. When it comes to the positions of all of his competitors, he could not ask for anything better. Ooh, it's a little bit locked up on the entry right there. Chasing down the 5th place car of Caden McAravey. And he'll get in front of the Green Bay car. Flies right through him during the carousel. And he's back up into race pace. Now back on that Eric Richardson battle right here. I told you, Eric and DJ were going to meet up. And look at this. They're right next to each other. DJ, though, obviously been the slowest of all for the night, unfortunately. Eric Richardson has seemed quick at times, but has also been mistake-prone. I think if Eric can just keep this car out of the wall for the rest of the race, I fully expect to see him get past DJ. I think he'll get past DJ right here. Maybe if not right here, then a few more corners. It's going to be coming up close. Oh, look at that late break right there.
Sorry, DJ.
My bad. I braked early.
DJ says he's braking early. Eric braking late. Eric making the dive. DJ lets him through. Now Eric up into 6th. Salvage some extra points that he needs desperately to keep his championship hopes alive. Now, if I were Tyler Vickery, I'd be looking at this and saying, oh, only got a lap and a half to go. I've got a literal 45-second lead over 2nd place. Yes, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, he does lead Mark Vickers, who's sitting in 2nd by 45 seconds. Literally half a lap, as the laps are about a minute and a half. So that being said, I think he can kind of just chillax and coast his way to the end. That's definitely what I'd be doing right now if I was Tyler. Just coast. No point in going ham. Let's see. Gonna have any shakeup at the end of this race? Don't think we will. Yep. I don't think we will. I think I just saw a white flag being waved too. So it looks like this is our final lap here for the Wednesday Night Dash Chicago Street Race. And Tyler Lugo Vickery has had an absolute heater of a race around the street circuits here in Chicago. He's just gone ham from start to finish. He's been absolutely in a class of his own tonight. And if he does come across the line as the rightful winner, I would say he definitely is very rightful of a winner. Yes, it sounds like we are seeing white flags here. Mark Vickers giving us the call that he also saw a white flag, so he is ready to be done with tonight's race, as it is quite taxing, I'm sure, on these drivers. The 40 car of Colton Gardner, pretty far back here, coming around the final corner. The flag man waving the white flag, you can see in the top right corner. And back on Tyler Lugo Vickery, who's coming around now the penultimate corner, turn 11, to close out tonight's Chicago Street Race. Like I said, absolute dominance from this guy, and his championship hopes are all but dead. They are very much so alive, as Tyler Vickery will come across the line here in Chicago, our race winner. Congratulations to Tyler. He sees the checkered flag first. Second place at this rate will be Mr. Mark Vickers, the only other driver here on the lead lap, I believe. Oh, sorry, he's one of very few on the lead lap. First through fourth are on the lead lap. Fifth, sixth, and seventh are not. Second place is likely going to be going this way to Mr. Mark Vickers, I'm sure, at this rate. Yep, he only has one more corner to go after this one. And he makes this penultimate corner look easy. The number 40, or the number 84, excuse me, of Mr. Mark Vickers will be coming across the line. Our second place finisher here. And third is the number 40, Mr. Colton Gardner. He comes out of the carousel.
Nice race, Tyler.
Planted. Looks cool, calm, and collected. He's going to come across the line in third. Well done.
Yeah, I ended up running my fastest lap ever on this track in that mid portion of the race.
We're hearing Tyler talking about how he's in the fastest laps he's ever done in the middle of this race. So well done to him.
Don't be, man.
Absolutely incredible. First place to Tyler Vickery. Second place to Mark Vickers. Third to Colton Gardner. Fourth to Brian McKinney. Fifth to Caden McRavy. Sixth, DJ Flick. And seventh to Eric Richardson, actually. I did not think I would be saying that, but it looks like Eric Richardson. Oh, actually, he may have just disconnected early. Yeah, Eric Richardson came in seventh. Wow. DJ Flick, hold him down. Oh, no. DJ Flick beat Eric Richardson. Yeah, DJ Flick beat Eric Richardson. Oh, my gosh. I can't believe that. Wow. Congratulations, DJ. Sixth place. Nice. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and see if we can get these drivers in for an interview. Oops. Whoopsies. Let's see if we can get Mr. Tyler Vickery up in here for an interview. Let's pull him in here. Well, hello, Mr. Race Winner. What a race from you. That's funny. Perfect timing. What an absolute race for you, man. That was incredible. That was ridiculously dominant. That was a 40-second lead to win. It was... Yes, it was absurd. It was absurd. I did not see you put... I saw you maybe put 1 foot wrong with like maybe a slightly missed braking coming into turn 10 out of that, like, you know, that sweeping left-hander over the bridge. I think your nose, your left side of the nose hit the wall just a little bit, but you seemed to shrug it off like it was nothing and you just kept driving. Mm. Oh no. Yeah. Smart. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's very smart, very smart. Yeah, you absolutely deserve that win tonight, man. Very, very well done. Second place went to Mark Vickers, and that means that your position in the standings is looking pretty spicy. That just gave you how many more points for that win? It's a grand slam. It was a genuine grand slam. You had fastest lap. You qualified in first place. You led every lap, and you won. So yes, that is a true grand slam. A ridiculous performance. Yep, that sounds about right. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that'll be great. Oh yeah, big time. I'm especially excited for Phoenix. That's my home race, so I'm very much so biased there on that one. But it'll be exciting. It'll be exciting last few races. Well, man, I'm gonna let you go, and seriously, good luck for the rest of the season. You've got a good chance now again at a championship, and that would make you a back-to-back championship winner here Wednesday Night Dash. So I wish you the best of luck. No one's done it. Nope. Nope. Yep. So it would be you. Well, hey, good luck on your charge, and I shall see you next week. Later, skater. Alrighty, y'all, and that is going to conclude our stream here tonight for Wednesday Night Dash. I want to say another gigantic thank you to our amazing sponsor, the Merch Booth. So for those of you guys that missed the Merch Booth, for those of you guys that missed us at the beginning, the Merch Booth is a podcast all about music, adventure, and friendship. Two co-hosts, Ryan and Thomas. They've known each other for over 15 years, and they recently decided to start making going into concerts a regular occurrence where they make an effort to try new things, go to different bands that they can see and share with each other, and basically record a show that talks all about the fun, the music, and obviously they're talking a bunch of smack about all the tall people that definitely should not be standing up at the front of the concert. They're also big racing fans, both F1 and NASCAR fans, and so I know that they were excited to watch this race tonight. I'm hoping they thought it was just as insane and fun as a punk show like they oftentimes go to. And again, to all you guys that come down here and watch us week in and week out, thank you so much. My name is Eli. You can find me on Twitter at Punju. Be wonderful. Keep making the world a better place. I will see you guys